This is your favorite curator, the digital collectible purrator. And today I got something really special for you guys. Because you know what? This is a open letter to Infinite Fun, Johnny DeGods, and Candy Apple, Sir Candy Apple, I should say. Bear with me, folks. I was quite literally just strolling the on-chain interwebs, and I was looking at some of the most pristine MidEvils out there. We're talking about like the suit trade, we're talking about Merlin's cloak, we're talking about Summoner's armor. And I kind of had, like, I'm not gonna lie, I nearly had to use a magnifying glass in order to see my NFTs. So you know what? I'm just sending it out there. I believe that MidEvils would benefit from the company aspect as well as for holders by enlarging their character on the canvas. To put my proof in the pudding, or to basically up the stakes, I want to challenge Johnny DeGods and Candy Apple that if they take this advice to heart, whenever times are good, whenever they be hiring advisors, I would be the first advisor to be hired. If it seems that the thesis is incorrect and holders do not seem to care about this, then I'm going to up the stakes. I will actually, with the next physical burn event, instead of burning a floor, I will be burning a mythic trait. So it's out there. So bear with me, folks, because you know what? At the end of the day, I believe that if we're talking about NFTs, right, you want to feel like the main character. You want to kind of live through the NFT in a little bit, right? That you want to, like, it's somewhat of an extension of you, etc., etc. So, anyways, I kind of had issues seeing the traits. Let's just call it what it is. So, I did some due diligence, right? And some of the most important, the biggest, the bluest of blue chips NFT brands out there. Well, let's look at the difference. SMB, Gen 2, Geckos, DeGods, and MidEvils. DeGods, MidEvils, Geckos, MidEvils, SMB, MidEvils. Again, I'm not flaming. I am a huge fan, but also kind of I want to, like, say it like it is. The strength of MidEvils is kind of the duality, right? The mid cartoony Ed Hardy-esque art on the one hand, with like that's actually like the bigger picture, but it basically gets united by, on the one hand, having like a very, well, fantasy-esque character, and on the other hand, like a regular dude just living life, right? What I mean by that, obviously, it's just a regular dude with, like, I'm not sure what those eyes are, but like it's a jacket I could be wearing. It's a look I could be having, but I hope to God that having a sword piercing through my heart is not like really an option anytime soon. Same with this one, right? A regular dude, someone who you could basically just like meet down the street, even though like if you look like really closely, right? What the fuck's going on with his eyes? Right? But again, like that's the thing. It's kind of a shame if you need to zoom in that hard, right? Again, compared to DeGods, compared to MidEvils, Geckos, MidEvils, whoops, SMB Gen 2, MidEvils. So to basically state my claim, really, I went to work, right? Since Sir Candy Apple and Johnny DeGods, they are somewhat aware of DeGods, right? This is not like any secret, but like before MidEvils, they quite literally designed DeGods. So this is if you are putting them next to each other, right? Frame by frame, NFT by NFT. Here, you can see basically the overlap, right? To where the DeGod on the left, the mid in the middle, and basically how much larger the DeGod is. Now, mind you, how much easier it is to spot the details on the DeGod more so than the MidEvil. So, long story short, if you were to basically create them into like the right sizing, and again, like this is me just doing some stuff on canvas rather than being a designer. That's not what I do. I don't really have a skill set in life. Let's just call it like it is. Here we go. Right? Look at the details. Look at how much more personable it is. When I'm looking at like the one at the right, it's so much easier to enjoy the art. And make no mistake, at the end of the day, we're here to collect and to enjoy the art, right? So if you're looking at the positioning, how that would look in, well, on Magic Eden, on Tensor, on whatever, this is essentially what it looks like, right? So whenever you're scrolling Magic Eden, look at like the second character more so than the first one. I'll be way more inclined to buy the second character just because of the simple fact that it's so much easier, right? It's so much easier to basically spot all of the amazing little details in the second version more so than the first one, right? And last but not least, you might want to be like, well, I mean, like, Cat, who cares, right? You can just zoom in, right? It is what it is. I've heard Candy say, like, well, I mean, like, it needs to be like a really, really, really good argument in order for us to basically adapt the metadata. Well, Sir Candy Apple and Johnny DeGods, this is what the Magic Eden page looks like right here, right now. And sizing wise, this is what it looks like with better sizing, right? Again, how it is right now and how it is with better sizing, in my opinion, right? Just to be sure, like I've also like included like a few models which are a little bit like harder, right? I know that We have to deal with orcs. We have to deal with some traits which are just like a little taller, a little wider, a little more this, a little more that. Well, what I have to say to that, I have all the faith in you guys being like amazing designers. I'm sure you could figure it out. But you know what? And like, this is just the deal, right? Right now, I kind of believe that it is a missed opportunity, that people do not really seem to care about like anything other than floors, right? On the one hand, like, it's kind of like logical because, well, floors, burning floors is pretty much like the MO of like MidEvils right here, right now. But there are people like me who are a little bit more on the spectrum of things, right? Let's just call it like it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a collector, I don't want floors. I want my shit to look cool, and I want to be rewarded for basically pressing the buy button at a higher valuation, right? To where I can see like some of like the amazing mythic traits I bought instead. And again, to kind of prove my point, right? This is one of your like the most amazing skins out there. Look at how much easier it is to spot the details in this version more so than the one to the left, right? Again, at the end of the day, the only thing I want to contribute to is for, well, as you're saying, for people to have fun collecting, but also more so specifically to make like a difference in the art and the collectability of art. And fact is, the easier it is and the more convenient it is to basically show and to spot the details which make them exceptional, funny, engaging, whatever you want to call it, I think it's worth it. Now, again, if the thesis is proven wrong, if the thesis is something where, well, the majority would disagree with, then happy to burn a mythic with the next physical burning event. If not, then this was the first advice I've given you guys. Anyways, that's it for now. I appreciate it. I'm sure that we're going to be in touch on this. Let's see what the MidEvils community thinks of this, right? I think at the end of the day, anyone can basically have their own opinion. I've talked to some people, I'm sure like other people have had other conversations, but I think it's a discussion worth having. And I don't know, I'm quite confident actually that it could bring us to a way more positive result. I'm going to tune out, folks. Thank you so much. Cheers.